I'm here with Hog, Hickman, Frankie Angles. What other names we got?
Frank Lemchenko.
Frank Lomachenko.
Footwork Frank.
Footwork Frank.
Southpaw Outlaw. When I'm on the pads, Frankie Roach.
Frankie Roach is a good one. We're going to break down one fight that's coming up. Everybody's obviously seen that there's a huge change on the fight card. We're going to break down the wrestlers, because Hog's an expert wrestler, also expert striker, but we're going to go off the wrestling. So we're going to do Chimaev and Kevin Holland. And what do you reckon?
Well, obviously the wrestler in me thinks Chimaev will get it done, but I think maybe Holland can give him some issues trying to keep it on his feet. I know he's gangly, he's rangy, he's got pretty good boxing. So, but I reckon once Chimaev grabs a hold of you, it is a different ball game.
Yeah, so obviously Chimaev's last performance, we saw that, he tried to wrestle Gilbert Burns. He had a harder time than he thought it was going to be, but obviously Gilbert Burns has grappled at the highest level in the world for a decade probably now. So that is definitely in his favour. Kevin Holland definitely hasn't grappled at that level ever in his life really, and judging by his track record, his fight against Marvin Vettori took him down at will and made pretty easy work of him on the ground. He has kind of improved since then, and he went against the Cowboy, but in my opinion the Cowboy is not as equal wrestler to Chimaev.
No, not at all. Not only that, but it also is a catch weight. They're up at 180, so I think with Chimaev not having to cut that extra 10 pounds is definitely going to have a big factor to deal with it. He could probably wrestle more often now because he's not going to get nowhere near tired.
Yeah.
Holland makes 170 pretty easy, so he's giving up 10 pounds that I think is going to, might not definitely benefit him, or play into his benefit, whatever I'm trying to say.
The B word.
Yeah, the B word. So I think with that extra 10 pounds is going to be significant.
Yeah.
Chimaev, an extra 10 pounds on him, not having to do with cutting as much weight. He's probably going to be much, much more fresh. It could be a long night for Kevin Holland.
100%. And for Kevin Holland, he wants to be push kicking and old mate in the face and keeping him at range and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it can be hard to do that when someone just juggernauts forward. And obviously there's a cage in there. There's a wall. Eventually you run out of real estate if you can't move that well. So it's going to be interesting, and also 5 rounds. I don't think Chimaev's done 5 rounds. I think Kevin Holland did 5 rounds.
He's done a couple.
Yeah.
He's done Vettori, he's done Derek Brunson.
Okay, there we go. So he's got the 5 round experience, which, in my opinion, it's a completely different sport. Like those extra 2 rounds, I've only ever done it once, and it's a very long time. So it'll be interesting to see if Chimaev.
Wollongong
Wars, the feeder of the UFC.
Best feeder program in Australia, if I say so.
Shout out to Joe Lopez. I'm here with Wonder Boy Wood. That's his fight name. So now we're going to have Big Wood's breakdown on. He's decided to pick Diaz. He's a Diaz guy.
I am a Diaz guy.
He knows about Diaz.
I'm a Diaz guy.
Diaz is now up against Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon about that? Do you reckon that's a better match than?
Yeah, I think it's a better match.
Okay. Why?
I think it's a better match. In terms of fans, for the fans, I think Ferguson will come and bring it in the stand-up with Diaz as well. I think Hamzat would probably have wrestled him a little bit more, looked to wrestle Diaz a little bit more. So I think fan-wise, this is probably...
Yeah. I think these two guys are more physically evenly matched. So like physical attributes, right? Diaz isn't like a big jacked, ruthless, strong wrestler.
Yeah.
Obviously neither is Ferguson. They're more like technical grappling artists, and they like to sort of bat you up, and they both got mad gas tanks, right? They can both go a long way. And I think that's probably going to go the 5 rounds. It's going to be a bloodbath because they're both like, Tony likes to cut people, Diaz doesn't mind getting cut.
Yeah.
And like I said, with Chimaev, I thought he would sort of like squeeze the living shit out of Diaz, but I was also really excited for Diaz to fight him because I wanted him to go out killing one of their their hype trains, and eventually he'll just like snake his way to the back and choke him out. This is if you're in Phuket, get down to Ringside Cafe, buy a coffee, maybe 2, maybe a meal.
Early bird special?
Treat yourself.
Put it on Frank's bill.
Yeah. The Leech and versus D-Rod. You know who D-Rod is?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So D-Rod from from gang member to prison member to UFC employee, as we are apparently employees until it's like something not in our favour, and then we're subcontractors or whatever. So D-Rod is now taking on the Leech, which I'm going to pick D-Rod for that one. The Leech is a good fighter. You know, he's very durable. He's game, which is one of the most important things. He loves getting in there. I'm not a big fan of him after he nearly pulled out Jake Matthews' eyes in Australia. I think Jake Matthews actually got glasses because of that. The eye gouged him from guard on top, and he ended up with glasses. Obviously a good fight. The Leech is more of an all-round MMA fighter. He can do a little bit of everything pretty well. But I'm going to pick D-Rod. He's got that momentum. He's got that zero fucks attitude. Yeah. And as you'd get after being inside for a little while. We're here with Adam Boabusov. What do you reckon about the fight changes on the fight card today?
Yeah, it's pretty mad. You can train 6-8 weeks for a fight and have your opponent switch last minute. Pretty buzzy, 3 fights.
What fight are you most excited for?
Probably Hamzat.
And what do you think? Do you think it's a better matchup than what it previously was?
I think Holland maybe has more rounds to stop him. He might be a bit more tricky. Some wild shit.
What do you think if Hamzat takes him down? Because of his last performances with Victoria, it wasn't very convincing that he's a competent wrestler. So what do you reckon about this bloke?
I mean, I think when you take him down, he's going to do some weird shit off his back. He's locked out Jacare, crazy. I think it just makes him maybe a bit more of the unknown with Holland. He might do some wild shit that Hamzat used to. So.
Yeah. So what about the 5 rounds? Do you think that, because Hamzat hasn't been 5 rounds, Kevin Holland's been 5 rounds a couple of times?
If Holland can hurt him and drag it out, I think it'll be interesting. But I think if Hamzat gets on top and just puts his weight on him, it might be a bit of a long early night for Holland. So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree. So we just finished our partner workout on Saturday. Alex, how do you feel about, not the workout, but how do you feel about the change in fight card? The change in fight cards?
Oh, it's pretty awesome. You know, it's crazy about the fight card. Actually, I woke up and I saw that. But all the fights are so good that you can mix them all around and they're still also good. So
do you think the main event is now better than what it was previously?
Yeah, just because I'd rather see Nate Diaz fight Tony Ferguson. I don't really want to see him fight Chimaev, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't want to see Chimaev's on his way up, and not that Nate's on his way out, but he's a bit older. I don't want to see that.
We want to see Diaz go out on a high.
Fight Tony Ferguson. They're both crazy. It's awesome.
Right. So both got gas tanks.
Yeah, I love it.
Both cutting and getting cut.
I don't really want to see Chimaev take down Diaz and just cut him up. But,
how do you feel about Chimaev and Kevin Holland?
They're both crazy too. I think it's good. Yeah, the whole card's crazy. Yeah, so it's 2 kind of both wild guys that both go for it. And Kevin Holland, you've seen he's done some crazy stuff on his back. He knocked him off his back, which is nuts. So.
Do you think that crazy stuff will be enough though for the Chechen Swedish squeeze?
We'll see. I guess that's what we're gonna watch.
Yeah. D-Rod versus the Leech.
Yeah, I like D-Rod. I just like the way he fights. I think it'll be good.
I'm a D-Rod guy as well.
Yeah.
Big fan of him.
Sure. Yeah.
I reckon he'll just thug him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thug him out. Yeah. That's Alex the Jew, the Shield's input.
That's my take on UFC 279.
We're gonna watch it, and there's that guy's take. Remember him? Remember his take?
Do it to it.
What do we call him? What was your fight name? Wind Up Wood.
Wonderboy.
Oh, Wonderboy Wood. We could do Wind Up Wood too.
Wonderwood.